Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today, we got a pretty fiery episode for you guys today that we definitely want you guys to stick around for. So please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as y'all know, we're just coming out of All-Star Weekend, right? And usually, in the past, there's usually a lot of excitement going into the All-Star Weekend. As somebody that's been watching All-Star games for the last 20 plus years now, 22 years, you know, I have seen some very, very fun All-Star games, going all the way back to Michael Jordan's All-Star game with the Washington Wizards, you know, watching, you know, Vince Carter in the All-Star game, you know, East versus West. There've been some great duels. That Michael Jordan game was an incredible game. I think Kevin Garnett was the MVP of that game with 37 points. And there's just been so many fun matchups all throughout the years. Really fun All-Star games. But as the years have been going on, the All-Star game started to get diluted. And what I mean by that is the competition slowly started to go out of the window. And it was something that I remember Kobe, when he was still playing, he alluded to. He was like, you know, in the first half, everybody wants to have fun. But in the second half, we want to win the damn game, right? Our pride kicks in, and we want to prove to you guys who has the better conference. And he said him and Chris Paul will sit in there in the locker room, and they will sit down there and just say, okay, let's go take the game. Because according to reports, Chris Paul is one of the most competitive NBA players ever, right? So the competition is what really made it exciting, because you're watching the best pickup game in the world with some of the best players really going at it, right? In the first half is usually an exhibition game. But as time started to go on, what I started to notice was that the competition slowly started to go out of the game. And it got so bad that the NBA had to come up with a format to basically cause players, or really to incentivize them to basically give a damn. And then they started coming up with this thing with the team captains. And then I think you started making it about charities and all of that stuff. And the first iteration of that game, I think it was the game when Kawhi Leonard won the All-Star game MVP. I was the first person to win the Kobe Bryant Award. That game was fun. And the last quarter, or the second half, sorry, was very, very compelling, because there was something on the line. It was close. People wanted to win the game. So it was very, very fun to watch. But going into All-Star Weekend, this last one, I had absolutely no enthusiasm. Zero whatsoever. I didn't watch the dunk contest live. I didn't watch the three-point shooting contest live. And to be honest with you, I didn't even bother watching the game. Had no interest in watching it, because I knew what it was going to be. It was going to be a chuckathon. Everybody was going to be too cool for school. And basically, it was just one big peacocking contest. Let me show you guys who can shoot the longest threes, get the biggest dunks, no defense, no nothing whatsoever. To me, that is corny as hell. So I had no intention to watch it. And I didn't watch it. And I'm very happy I didn't. I'm very, very happy I didn't, because I know I didn't miss a damn thing. So I woke up this morning to look at the highlights. And I was watching the highlights. I could not believe the garbage I was watching. That's the only way to describe it, folks. It was terrible. It was terrible. Terrible. And as a matter of fact, before producing this show, I wanted to make sure that my opinion was a little bit scientific. So I put up a poll on the channel before producing the show this morning. I said to the audience, thoughts on the All-Star game, NBA All-Star game. First question was, it was a poll. Total embarrassment, no defense, players don't care no more. That was the first option. Second option, very fun and entertaining. And the third option, don't care. Listen to this. 57% said it was a total embarrassment. And 30% said don't care. 12% said very interesting, very fun and entertaining. That basically means over 90 or close to 90% of the people either didn't give a damn to watch or thought it was an absolute joke. That's a problem. That's a problem. And apparently I'm not the only one that feels this way. Apparently 2023 All-Star game coach, Coach LeBron, I believe, Michael Malone, also has some strong words to say. I'm reading this article here from CBSSports.com, where basically Denver Nuggets coach Michael Malone, who helmed the losing team LeBron James on Saturday night, didn't mince words after the game, speaking out against the lack of effort from both sides. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be a part of a great weekend, great players. But this is the worst basketball game ever played. Malone said after the All-Star game. I don't even know if you can fix it. I gave Joel Embiid, Kyrie Irving, those guys were like competing. Joel was imploring some of the guys to play harder to try to get some defense in. No one got hurt. They put on the show for the fans, but that was a tough game to sit through. I'm not going to lie. Now, some people say, oh, he's old school. Well, here's a new school guy. This is Jason Tatum. Apparently, Jason Tatum said that was not basketball. I mean, Jaylen Brown, that was not basketball. Jaylen Brown said, called the game a glorified layup line and said he hopes there was a way to make the game more competitive. Obviously, no real defense played tonight. What more can I say? To quote the great JayZ. You know, the question we got to ask ourselves is, how do we get here? How do we find ourselves in this position now where you're watching an All-Star game and it is that terrible? Let's just talk about the weekend. I said I didn't really give a damn about the skills challenge. They were talking about, let me see, the person that won the slam dunk contest, NBA slam dunk contest. There was a guy that came out of the G League. His name was Mac McClung, right? 76ers Mac McClung. He left the NBA speechless. He's the one, I believe. He came out of the G League and he was on a contract, a very short contract, with the Philadelphia 76ers. 6'2" guard, I believe. 6'2" or 6'3" guard. He went out there and put on an absolute show. It was incredible. He was electrifying. He was very fun to watch. But at the same time, it was a total indictment on some of the stars of the game. If I'm a superstar in the NBA, I feel embarrassed that it takes someone like this to come in here and basically save the game. That means save the event. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. All of these great players, what happened to all the most athletic players in the world? This is what we keep hearing. These are the most athletic guys to walk the earth. Why aren't they dunking then? Why aren't some of the most athletic or the most athletic, most advanced athletes to ever play basketball? Why aren't they dunking? Why didn't they join the All-Star game? There's only one or two things. Number one, they don't care. Or number two, they just believe it's beneath them. And to me, I thought that you would want to carry on the tradition of a league that really means a lot to you. I mean, Michael Jordan did it. If Michael Jordan went in the dunk contest, who are you? Nobody. You're nobody. These guys are nobody compared to Michael Jordan. Nobody. Michael Jordan wasn't too big enough to go in a slam dunk contest. Kobe Bryant wasn't too big enough to go in a slam dunk contest. LeBron never joined. I don't know why. Vince Carter wasn't too big to go in a slam dunk contest. So if these guys went in, who are you? Who are you? If Jordan went, who are you? Who are you? You're too good enough for the slam dunk contest, but Jordan did it? Yo, this current crop, man, I don't know if it's just the NBA, but it's a current representation of where we at right now, man. It's a bad look where we at right now. We in some serious trouble. This is just another example of it. We in a terrible place right now.